Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a Beyond the Summit presentation of the Red Bull Battlegrounds American Pre-Qualifier. This is Game 2 of a best-of-3 series between VoidBoys and Leviathan. Thank you guys so much for sticking with us. The previous game going the way of VoidBoys. They're up 1-0 in this series, but Leviathan looking to bring it back. I'm sure they had a lot of time to plan out their next game's strategy in that 71-minute game with quite a few pauses as well. I actually felt like I was wearing thin a little bit, but had a nice sip of Red Bull and bam, in the action, I'm ready to go. So I'm not going at it alone as well. Joining me in these amazing games of NA Dota 2 is Skim Gaming. How's it going, man?
What a sponsor plug in this Red Bull Battlegrounds tournament.
Good stuff.
I gotta say, I mean, sure, it was a very long game, but if they provide the same quality, sure, why not? I mean, I think, sure, we had a bit of a few awkward moments here and there, but overall, I think both teams, had a good game plan at some point, and I like both teams' drafts as well, and I mean, this draft already looks promising. We have a Lina and a Spirit Breaker from Leviathan. Sure, you have VoidBoys with a Boo Troll, but, can't have everything.
Yeah, I mean, overall, they prioritized the bans here. They said, don't want to go deal with the Chen, don't want to deal with the Clockwork, and instead the Troll does come out. So Leviathan trying to deal with it the best they can, and I think Shibi Lina is probably one of the best answers you're going to get. The fact is, Troll Warlord, without Eye of Scotty, Sanjin Yasha, and BKB, is still very squishy to a 950 pure damage Laguna Blade. And with that Aghanims timing that Shibi generally has, it should be enough to make the Troll Warlord controllable, to add in his name to that. But yeah, of course, we're going to have subsequent bans here. The Storm Spirit, the Disruptor, and then we're also going to be seeing the Bat Rider as well as the Broodmother here. I'm not exactly sure why you would really hate facing Storm Spirit when you're already up against Alina, but obviously that was the hero of choice for Game 1.
Especially if you already have a Lion as well. I think if they do want to go for Storm Spirit, not only would... I mean, the laning would still be okay, since you can run both Lina and Storm Spirit either on the mid or the safe lane, but I think you can sort of deal with that, considering you do have the line if you want to go against that, so... Yeah, I agree. I'm not sure if the Storm Spirit ban was warranted, but as you said, it was an issue last time around, so, might as well deal with it. And Leviathan pick up a Morphling. Do you know if they run offlane Morphling? Or is this going to be a carry Morphling?
I think Jenkins is fully capable of doing so, but I don't think I've seen it from them. It definitely is a potent hero that provides them the lockdown they might just need, but yeah, I think that it's still something that's kind of potentially new to their drafting experience. They can really benefit from the fact that that person is locked in play. You have tons of time to TPS down a troll, and it can be very frustrating to deal with if you don't have the right laning configuration, but all in all, it's still very possible for it to be Shredder's hero, and we'll just have to see. Maybe they consider it both. Maybe they say it's Jenkins offlane and it's Shredder's carry. It just depends on how the rest of the draft proceeds.
Yeah, I mean, you can be... Oh, there it is. Jenkins is going, you know what? Hey, we do want to go into that. We do want to get into that last slot for the summit, so we're just going to give our fans a taste of our pudge.
Indeed. And Jenkins Pudge, I mean, it's legit. It's more pure damage coming out. Obviously, it doesn't even require a 4,200 gold item to get that out. You just hook them, and you suddenly are dealing with a target with far less HP, and again, more single target control. It's also worth noting that IO is one of the supports that doesn't have any ways to break channels, so although you can maybe relocate the person out, you're not going to be able to just directly stop that dismember. CK is going to be the pickup, though, and IOCK has been really finding a resurgence. It's still been as prevalent as ever in my mind. Obviously, not as strong as the Reality Rift Tether Stun, because that was amazing, but...
I miss those times, honestly. Sure, it was broken, but I miss those times.
Still, it's strong as it is, and obviously his Phantasms have gotten a ton of buffs. So in this position, we've got Jenkins Pudge. That means we've got Shredder Morphling. As well, there is going to be Shibi on the Lina, leaving us with a support Spirit Breaker. So they're looking for one more support, one with plenty more setup, and maybe some AoE damage to control the CK. The Disruptor could have been a good pick, but that's obviously been banned out. What other supports kind of fill that AoE damage role?
It's a good question. I like that they like VoidBoys preemptively banned out the Disruptor because Disruptor would have been such a good pickup here for Leviathan, but maybe even a Rubik. I mean, being able to steal these line disables would actually be pretty cool as well. I mean, having a Hex against CK is pretty nice. Obviously against a Troll as well. Even the burst damage coming out from the line would be pretty good. So maybe something like a Rubik. But yeah, ideally you want something with more AoE, even though the Fate Bolt is also pretty good against those Phantasm Illusions.
So this is going to be pretty fun. We'll see Leviathan's last pick coming out here. Has to be, I mean, it doesn't have to be a support. It could be a carry if you want to go with, like, support Morphling instead of offlane Morphling, but that's even more untested territory, I would say. It's definitely has its weaknesses, but if they're comfortable with their lanes, then maybe.
Could also run the Lina as a support. Just rotate her back as a support and just go for a different carry.
I think there's too much invested in the Lina, just like her potential to deal with the Troll and even the CK. That it probably isn't the best idea. So we're going to see the Witch Doctor come out, and we'll see the lanes take their place. I've seen Witch Doctor do some good work against CK and also have some issues. Even when you get that Aghanim's Witch Doctor ultimate, or you get it to level 16 and it gets the bounces naturally, CK still tanks up a lot of that damage just because it's even though it's multi-target, those are a bunch of illusions you're hitting instead of, you know, wiping out and getting a rampage. And I was thinking about Sand King on the side of Leviathan. With the Spirit Breaker, it seemed like they would have trouble facilitating it in the lanes, and instead it goes the way of the VoidBoys. So suddenly, you've got Greed Central, where there's essentially 3 cores on the map. Your Troll Warlord, your Chaos Knight, and your Sand King. Sand King can start off in the offlane for Omega Poner, and then go back to the jungle that's been sacked up by Wisp or Lion.
Which lineup do you like more?
Oh, definitely VoidBoys. Yeah, Leviathan have to completely outperform and just do some amazing things with this Pudge, with the Morph. The Lina should be good. She should just have a pretty clear-cut game. But the Morphling and the Pudge have to do some amazing things in order for me to feel better about their lineup than I do about VoidBoys.
I agree. I think VoidBoys' lineup is just much easier to execute. It's very straightforward. You kind of know what you can expect out of every hero. You know how you're gonna lane. You know how you're gonna, just in general play around with every hero. But with Leviathan's lineup, I think there's a lot of uncertainty. I mean, the Spirit Breaker can be complete hit or miss as well. And the Morphling, of course, it's one of these heroes, especially as a core. Yeah, he's strong for sure, but if you shut him down early.
Yeah. By the way, I'm pretty sure that the Spirit Breaker is going to be laning top with the Pudge. A duo there. We've seen some teams running like off-lane Spirit Breaker plus Phoenix and carries a headache or two. But I could see the Pudge and Spirit Breaker not only causing grief, but even having some kill potential if you net the charge hook.
Yeah, true, actually. There's definitely some sort of synergy there. That's true. Paul's coming out. Oh, not again.
Could be just something still, yeah. It's just a visual bug. I'm sure it's something they can take care of pretty quickly.
So, VoidBoys, they're expecting somebody in their jungle. I'm not going to find anybody. They're going to have a pretty straightforward lane, I feel.
The most important thing that VoidBoys can do is get the bounty rune for Io. Get the Wisp on the top bounty rune. Make sure absolutely nobody can contest it, hook it, anything. And then get that bottle out instantly for the Wisp. At that point, Lion can go full support, and Wisp and CK can start building momentum in the lanes.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's so important. And I like this. I like the change on the rune, honestly. Makes the early game a bit more predictable. I mean, if you're just sitting on a rune and I got an illusion rune, it's kind of useless. But now this fixed bounty rune, I think it's pretty good. Wisp already took down a few trees, makes stacking this camps much easier.
Look real quick at the dire items to start us off. We have Stout Shield, Ring of Protection for Troll, Stout Shield, Ring of Protection for Sand King, and Stout Shield Circlet for CK. These guys are really looking to kind of slug fast early. They are expecting some harassment to be thrown their way, and they still want to fight in spite of it.
I mean, look at what kind of lanes they're facing, especially the Sand King. I mean, he's gonna have a very annoying lane. I mean, the Witch Doctor is a pretty good hero to zone heroes out with, and he's gonna eat a lot of right clicks for sure, so... I like this item build a lot. Very defensive, sure, but it also makes... It just ensures the fact that you don't really get harassed too easily out of the lane. The same, of course, applies to the Troll as well.
Alright, so starting things off, we're going to have 4-man top for VoidBoys. We got Mercy Please, we're on the CK, Suan running on the Io Wisp. We got 747 the stand-in on the Troll Warlord, leaving Fly to play the Lion. Last but not least, Omega Poner's Sand King will be making his way down bottom. No rune for him, but a nice creep block will get him off to a good start. But we're going to be looking at Jenkins and wonder where he's going to be going. Boots first. I think it's important that he just stays out of vision for right now so that they kind of remain scared. But you see he's actually going to be jungling. Okay, so what he's going to do to start us off is hook the hard camp up to the high ground here, and it'll walk all the way down here. It's something that Rubik can do, but Pudge is going to do it just to get the creep wave rolling. So we're going to see it at, I think there's a specific timing. I'm sure he knows it. And pulling now. Nope, he's just messing with us. But yeah, he's going to be pulling for, I guess, the next creep spawn.
Yeah, he's
for the minute
for
one.
The 1 minute, yeah.
And then it stacks it too, I believe, if you do it at the right time.
I'm not sure, actually.
I think it can. If you do it at 52, it should be pulling and stacking. Or 53, 54, maybe not. Looks like it is just going to take over.
And yeah, I mean, VoidBoys should be expecting this. This is nothing new. This is, I'm not going to say classic Jenkins, but he does this, he has done this a lot. So, Sand King, I mean, he's not going to mind this too much. I mean, he can still rotate it into the jungle if he suddenly finds himself without a creep wave.
Yeah, he wants to do that level 3, but he's actually almost there. Just a really good start for him. Actually, damage on mid. There's going to be a cask. It won't bounce through the Wisp, though. So Shibby needs to get that stun out. Might be able to turn kill. Mercy, please. One more right click. It will go down. Shibby will be the exchange. There is no miss, but there is a hook landing onto Schwan. Tethers back to the creep wave, but the right clicks are there. And with 0 armor and no low to high ground miss, it's going to be a 2-for-1 and the first blood going to Leviathan.
Did Wisp actually miss the tether and tether the creep? That's what it looked like.
I don't believe so. It looked like it was. I mean, it could. I wasn't fully focused on that aspect of the fight, to be honest with you, but it seemed to be like right in the middle of it.
Yeah, maybe it was a visual glitch after the CK died that it stuck to a creep or something, but after the CK died, it looked like he was still tethered to a creep. So I don't know, but yeah, it was definitely a huge play for Leviathan here, getting 2 kills. And of course getting the first blood, which I think is even more important, and the fact that Lina still got the XP for that kill.
For the first one, yes. The solo experience went the, well, actually duo experience between Pudge and the Witch Doctor, maybe even Spearburger getting a piece, but looks like he's pretty low, so probably just level 2. Another pull coming in from Jenkins here. Gets the Satyr, and actually more action on mid while he's pulling. There's a double LSA. It's not going to be enough to save the Witch Doctor, but maybe get the IO. One more right click. The bottle sip. It's not enough. 0 armor is just too little for him to survive that punishment, and the Fiery Soul brings him down. Now up top, we actually see a tower dive onto that Spear Breaker. His charge was canceled, I believe, by a Hex, and they just bring him down under tower.
The fact that Jenkins rotated for that first blood in the mid lane, or I guess the second blood, actually disrupted his pull, and he gave Sand King so much space on the bottom lane. Look at him, he's sitting at level 4. A ton of last hits, actually. Well, more than
Shibby getting stunned for 2 full seconds. The cask bouncing nicely, but can they actually turn it? Chaos Knight eating a lot of spell damage, but being healed up by the bottle. The charge coming through. Mercy, please, taking the hits, and he can't finish it onto Shibby. It's good damage, but it's low stun, and it is going to be a 4 versus 2. Getting them the kill advantage in the mid lane. Bottom, we do see just the Sandstorm frustrating Shredder, and as you said, this is a lot of levels going to SK.
Yep, and this is such a weird lineup from Leviathan. Like, this sort of Dota you're not really used to seeing, right? Very early aggression, and this sort of the rotations coming out from the constant rotations coming out from Nusham and Jenkins as well. It puts a lot of pressure on this CK and Wisp, which I very much like, because usually you see CK Wisp being, I'm not going to say uncontested on the lane, but, you know, just doing their thing and just doing CK things. So I like this a lot, and it's paying off for Leviathan, at least for now. And looks like they want to go for another kill under the guise of the darkness, but, you know, there's a ward watching. Yeah,
they shouldn't be able to get this hook by all rights. He still tries for it, hits a range creep. And that's not going to mean much. Cask bouncing LSA out of range, and that's going to be all that you see down there. But we're actually going to see Nusham kind of roaming around looking for a kind of a sneaky angle to come in from. Again, if the cast build is committed on somebody else, then there's no way to stop the charge, and he's just going to pummel you under tower. The Stout Shield allows him to dive pretty aggressively with the 777 HP. Down bottom, though, no, he's going for the charge. I guess it's going to be a charge through onto Omega Poner, but they don't have detection, and he's got Sandstorm. So as long as he pops it at the right time, There shouldn't be a kill here. They'll try for it, though. One bash, one waveform, and they're bringing him low. But again, the Sandstorm is what keeps him alive. And even burrowing Shredder under tower, he's got to morph some strength.
How is this ever going to be a kill? I mean, I'm very confused. Now both of them wasted a lot of regen, actually, and a lot of their time as well. And Shredder, he's very low. I don't know. This was a questionable engage, to say the least.
Jenkins trying to pull something sneaky up top with a hook, but not going to be able to connect on the troll. He's already got the phase boots up, and he's in his Berserker stance, so a Berserker's Rage. That is going to keep him in a position where he just is very quick on his feet, and the hooks are relatively easy to dodge if they're visible. And again, the emphasis on wards here. You look at the Dire Observer ward up on the top lane. He gets good vision on the lane, and then, of course, the 2 in mid. That just shows all the rotations from the Spirit Breaker and the Pudge. That's all you need, is just a bunch of ward vision stopping these charges and hooks from connecting.
Yep, and suddenly it's a lot quieter around the mid lane, and CK, he certainly benefits from that. I mean, look at the last hits. He's keeping up with the Lina, where actually he's leading compared to the Lina, and you know, you feel quite content with this, because quite frankly, that's all you want to get out of this lane. You want to get farm, and you want to make sure that you don't die.
Nice. Bottle coming in from the Wisp to help out Omega Poner here, and look at the stacks they've done for them. This is marvelous in the Dire jungle. Omega Poner is going to pull out like a 8-minute Blink Dagger. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe it's more like 10 minutes, but it's a fast freaking Blink Dagger. Spirit Breaker will see this with his illusion, but he's not going to be able to really steal any creeps here. One thing to note is that Sand King started off with a Basilius in the lane, and like I mentioned, he was kind of going toe-to-toe with the Morphin quite a bit. The Basilius gives him that armor, the mana regen. Oh, trying to go prevent the tower kill, the cask bouncing, but 747 is just going to stay on the tower and clean that one up. Now Nusham hexed up and going to be bashed, perhaps. No, bash is coming through. There's the Earth Spike, and he does get the bash. That chains the stun. Now the hook. The phase boots keeps him moving, but the charge forward and flies without CDs. They get the hook back onto Fly. He's down for the count. And the Sand King has to rotate from his stack. He was actually farming with the Sandstorm at the time. So, take some hits from those creeps, and in the end, the rotation top. It doesn't stop the tower from falling, but it does actually get a kill.
Yeah, and I think Leviathan is going to be happy with this. I mean, this tower was going to fall at some point eventually anyway, and with this they forced out the Troll Warlord out of the lane. They may get a kill, and they even, you know, as you mentioned, forced out a TP rotation from Omega Pana, even though he can immediately rotate back to farming in the jungle.
So, one thing I was going to talk about, the Basilius build-up early for the Sand King is great for the lane, but more importantly, I think he can turn it into Earnest Shadow Tranquil Boots, and then he'll just be able to progress nicely from there. First and foremost, though, he needs that Blink Dagger, and he's just going to be moving around looking for that rune that is fully covered up by a Smoke Pudge. Anti-ping's coming in from the Lion. They know that something's dangerous there. Probably just thinking the Lina, but there's a +1. Looking for dinner.
I think somebody pinged out the rune. I think somebody was like, hey guys, they probably have a rune there. A ward there. So...
we're going to see the Troll find a Nusham. He's going to charge away. No stun going his direction, and that's going to be fine. Mid, though, that's Task Knight finding his 2 stun spell combo, and they will bring down the Lina, which is a huge kill right now. She has the Laguna Blade. She's level 6. That's what you want. In the meantime, Jenkins, he mans up, but he isn't able to finish the job. 747 life-stealing away with the auto attacks, and as you can see, he goes down. Now the Spirit Breaker in the mid lane gets jumped by the Tether Reality, and this is just disastrous for Leviathan. Well, it turned into an amazing back and forth 71-minute long game 1 is now looking like a game 2 stomp. We're going to see the stuns come out, though, on a Mercy Please. If that strike connected, maybe they get the Laguna kill, but now they're going to have to be on the run. Flying Zebra, nice healing coming in from his 2 points of Voodoo Restoration, and Light Strike is what they're looking for. But another hook missed, another failed gank, and despite putting 4 heroes into the mid lane, nay 5, they're just not finding anything.
They have to charge, and they have a DD on the Morph. I think they're going for this.
But Fly can just hex it. Oh, doesn't? He doesn't hex it! It's actually going to connect on the IO. Perfect hook coming out, and the Lion falls too, only putting out 1 Earth Spike. Now under tower, Shibby does not put out the Laguna Blade. He just needs to fire his ultimate, but he doesn't hit anybody with it, and now it's going to be Pudge to be stunned out. He'll go down. Earth Spike hitting a lot. Oh, big bashes, though. The Greater Bash striking hard, bringing Xuan low. Shredder trying to clean it up with the DD rune, but he needs 1 more hit. Strength morphing, running. He's too slow. 335 MS versus 438 with the tether. Shredder gets pulled back into his own demise. Oh my. What could have been amazing for Leviathan turns into an ultra kill for the Chaos Knight, diving past the tower, and it was just a little bit off. Like, if the Laguna actually came out from Chibi, that would have killed somebody, and then not only does everybody get experience to level up, but you have one less person dealing damage. And that's the difference maker between a one fight and a lost one. CK is about to just jump out of control. I mean, look at his KDA. Mercy Please was 0-2 before that fight, and now he's 4-2 with Drums of Endurance, Power Tread, and an Ogre Club. Like,
This is actually quite disgusting. Yeah, God, that fight. Yeah, as I pointed out, it started out so well. If the Laguna Blade had hit, a completely different fight, completely different situation, but it didn't. And look at the net worth. Look at the net worth. It's just dropping and dropping. And VoidBoys is so much ahead. Omega Pona, off of that engagement, has a Blink Dagger as well, so he's looking to get something going. And this CK picks up an
bottom it is. Omega Poner's smoke is revealed. They still get the hook on Fly. Brent Burrow is going to connect, but now he's just bouncing the cask. Oh, Omega Poner are going to set up the relocate, but he's going down. And now it's about a 3v2. Jenkins will cop a stun, but he's okay with that. As long as they can burst down the Wisp in 4 seconds, 3 seconds, they finish him with the waveform, and Mercy Please is stranded. Running with the drums, fast as can be, but the hook, it connects. Jenkins locks him in, and the Phantasm comes out. He almost brings down Jenkins, 30 HP. The Rift will do it, but Charge coming through with just the Magic Stick mana in 6 seconds. They need to keep vision. They get the adaptive. Nusham, Magic Stick, Charge coming through. They're going under the tower, but they cancel it in the end. They know the Lion can TP and turn that all around, and they fed too many kills under the tower. They have to tone it down.
I'm not sure if that hook was actually that great because, well, again, bringing down
the end
CK
result
is so difficult. He's so tanky now. I mean, look at him. He has Treads, Ogre Club, a Stout Shield, and he has Drums.
That Ultra Kill. So all those items just fueled by that.
But honestly, if you look at the net worth chart, I mean, Shredder's keeping up with farm because he got a lot of kills himself as well. I mean, sure, his farm doesn't transition into as good of items as the CK has. I mean, he only quote unquote has the Ghost Scepter for now, but still, like, he's keeping up in terms of farm. And if he finds that E-Blade, I think it's gonna be a lot easier to find kills in those fights as well. I mean, E-Blade into, I don't know, all those Lina nukes, a Laguna Blade, for example. Holy Lina.
Really trying to make something happen here. The smoke to see comes out. Cask to set something up, but it's bounced immediately. And the hook just threads the needle between the two. Shibby going down without a spell once again. And Fly now looking for the jump. No tether movement speed for him, though. So it looks like it's going to be a disengage or not. Omega Poner with a nice flank. Blink Burrow. And now Jenkins caught. Flop it in the river like the fishy he is. One Burrow Strike to finish him off. And that's going to be cooling down in 2, 1, boom. Now caught. Now dead. And it's 16-11, dramatically favoring VoidBoys. And the entire time, Troll Warlord in the pit, bringing down the big boss man and taking Aegis for himself.
Honestly, this is the weakness of Leviathan's draft. I mean, if the Pudge misses his hook, what does he offer in an engagement? Not really that much, unless he walks in and gets a good stun off. But yeah, they get an Aegis, and I believe with this they're just gonna push down one tower. They can just choose a tower and just go for it, honestly.
Now Troll with the Aegis brings himself up to halfway past level 11. He's going to go for the Sanjin Yasha very swiftly here. And Omega Poner is actually almost at level 11 himself. Like, that'll be insane timing on this level 2 Epicenter Blink. And, you know, what can Leviathan respond with? They're trying. They really are. But we've seen one Laguna Blade, maybe, this game. It's just...
Not even sure if he used it, honestly.
I keep on clicking him, and he keeps on having it. I actually think there's a possibility he hasn't. It's either 1 or 0, and I'm leaning towards 0 right now, but...
Yeah, this Lina hasn't really had as much impact as you kind of want out of a Lina in the mid lane. Sure, her farm is sort of okay considering how the game has been going, but... You know, in an ideal setting, you have the Lina just...
No bottom, they're going to connect onto Shredder, and even though there's a Strength Morph, they also chain stun, they also Epicenter, and they bring the Morphling down. Tier 1 tower just going to be cut to ribbons thanks to the Battle Trance, the Fervor, and they have 4 people mid accomplishing nothing.
And I mean, we didn't even talk about this in the draft, but picking a Morphling into a line also very risky. Just because line is a pretty good counter against Morphling with the Hex, with the Impale, and also the mana drain is pretty strong. So
I would make an argument that there are like 6 or 7 supports that are great against Morphling, and you're not going to be able to avoid them all. You go up against AA, ET. A Lion is definitely has tools against the Morph, but it's not like the worst matchup he can face.
That's true for sure. And it's not like, I mean, many carries suffer from being hexed, so
it's
not like Morphling is exclusive in that regard. But just wanted to point that one out.
Sure. So we've got a 7-for-7 casually farming the Radiant Jungle right next to the entire squad of Leviathan. No threat at all. If he goes down with the Aegis, and the team just backs them up for the respawn. So they're just going to push in the tower. And actually getting the vision on Shibby here. He's got the self-Yules, but can he finally get the Laguna Blade out? No, he goes down again. No Blade coming through. It's Omega Poner, though, that gets hooked under tower. He will go down. Shredder as well, not morphing fast enough, and he will be killed off. Oh, boy. Getting the Sand King, minimal recompense for the losses received, and a triple kill for CK as they now finish off the Witch Doctor. This is looking to be just a full clinic put on by VoidBoys.
And CK now has a BKB, so he's immortal, basically. They can kill him. And yeah, I feel like every time Alina has to self-Yules herself in a fight, that's basically when you lose, because after the self-Yules, she just immediately just got blown up. There was nothing she could have done. I think if she had been able to Yules the troll, bottom lane, they relocate.
Oh, good call. We're going to see Nusham take some hits, and yeah, he won't be able to charge away. The Chaos Bolt connects. Nusham, the slowest charge away of your life, and yeah, it doesn't do anything in time, but they do get the rebound. Once they come back, as two, Shibby's there waiting for him, and there is no escape. The Laguna Blade still doesn't come out. Are you kidding me, Shibby? Are you kidding me? The Epicenter, the Burrow, it just tears them apart. Now, Shredder going down. Is this going to be a 0 Laguna Blade game for Shibby's Lina?
Probably. At this rate, anyway. And I mean, I said how the CK is immortal and how he cannot kill him. He didn't even have his BKB during that fight. And he still didn't manage to kill him. So, Leviathan. I wouldn't blame them if they had just called the GG, honestly.
I mean, you feel so bad for them. They tried so hard in that game, wanted to bring it back, and they were getting to a point where they honestly could. But in the end, now they go into this game, and it looks like they're completely outclassed.
But at the same time, I think they sort of outclass themselves as well with this draft. I think it's a very risky draft to run because it's very unstable. There's a lot of variables that you can't really... You have to rely a bit on chance and luck as well. Like, you need good bashes from the Spirit Breaker, you need to land those hooks, and I mean, you saw what happened as soon as Jenkins didn't land those hooks. So, I don't know. I feel like they took a chance with this draft, and it didn't really pan out for them.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's definitely strategic issues as well as tactical ones, and right now they're dug into a very deep trench. I mean, we've got a Lion picking up an 18-minute blink, 16,000 net worth advantage, 15k on the experience. Roche 2 spawning in about 3 to 6 minutes for the troll. Epicenters everywhere. It seems Omega Poner's always at the right place at the right time. Like, there's many games where you don't see a good Epicenter come out for the first 30-some minutes. And you're like, okay, it's okay, Sand King will get it later. This guy's hit like 2 or 3 already in 18. They do find the troll. The courier might go down. No! They get greedy. They get clobbered. The stun's coming through, and they're not going to get anything. Maybe the troll will go down, drop very, very low. But the Earnest Shadows, that's all that's taking him down. He gets relocated back to base. Nusham, trapped by the reality. The Troll Warlord surviving in, I thought Fountain, but he's over by the Ancients now.
Yeah, the West relocated from there and took it back with him, I think.
All right. Well, either way, out of harm's way, out of sight, out of mind, and actually going for the Epicenter there. It is canceled by Shibby. He did Laguna Blade, so...
Oh, he did? Oh,
he did.
I missed it. No, I missed it. Oh, he's dead.
Yeah, he looks like it. Oh, fish. Sleeps with the fishes.
At least he used Laguna Blade.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is... Honestly, I think this was one of these moments that Leviathan needed to pan out for them. They needed to get this gang going because they were actually in a pretty good position. I mean, they found the troll all by himself, but they actually reacted way too slow. I mean, the smoke popped like ages ago, and they didn't realize it. They even had vision over him, but they didn't realize it properly. And I believe they didn't stack their spells correctly as well. I think actually that the Witch Doctor ult was completely out of range from the troll. I don't know. It at least didn't hit him. But yeah, Leviathan. These sort of ganks have to work out if you kind of want to get back into this game.
So, what is the game plan when you are a 1,000 net worth Witch Doctor against a 10 and 11,000 CK and Troll? Like, what do you do when you're dwarfed so far that you can't even see past their kneecaps? Like, I just don't know.
I think at this point you have to rely, or you have to hope for VoidBoys to overextend. You have to hope that they get too greedy, that they kind of chase you till you, I don't know, tier 4 towers or something, even a fountain. Because no matter, even if you play your best Dota right now, if you're Leviathan, it's not going to be enough because VoidBoys is so far ahead. Look at the items on the CK, for example. Look at the items on the Troll as well. I mean, Troll is going to have a BKB soon as well. There's a mech on the EO.
Yeah, I mean, just look at his 5 items. No boots, but everything he wants, and he'll relocate top. Shredder, Sayonara. You're looking for your E-Blade, but you're only finding death here, and they'll just send the Wisp back. The other 4 will stay up top, going in with the Phantasm, striking on Jenkins. He will get the suicide, but Shibby going down, charging Nusham. Not really much to do, and they just call it here. They tap out, making it a quick 2-0 after a very, very long game 1.
Yeah, and VoidBoys, they just outplayed them on every level, honestly. I mean, I think the beginning was really strong from Leviathan, but one ultra kill and on Mercy Please was just too much.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's going to wrap it up for us here. Obviously, we had some incredible games on our hand here this evening. Some of them incredibly epic, some of them falling flat. But still, it's been a pleasure to cast for you guys here on Beyond the Summit. And that's going to end my casting marathon. I think out of potential 12 games for tonight, I cast 10 of those. So, yeah, pretty just tiresome, to be honest with you guys, but a lot of fun as well. My Dodo adrenaline is running down. The Red Bull has metabolized out of my system, and that's going to be a nice way to wrap up the night. Thank you guys so much for tuning in here to Beyond the Summit and to the Red Bull Battlegrounds American Pre-Qualifier. VoidBoys 2-0 Leviathan, and they will eliminate them here. So I believe they're going to be going up against our previous victors. You remember those?
That's a good question. Oh my god, how
it feels so long, like 70 minutes plus 20 minutes of pauses, and suddenly a match just wipes away from your memory there.
Oh, I think it was Root, wasn't it?
Yeah, Root Gaming did take out...
Wheel.
Wheel, yes. Wheel, oh, we need to call it a night, man. This has been an awesome night of Dota, but it's been a long one as well. And we thank you guys so much for tuning in and joining us here today. So that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. I myself am Blazed. You can follow me at BlazeCasting on Twitter if you so desire, or even throw some constructive criticism my way. Tell me how my sleepy cast was. But beyond that, Skim at Skim Gaming was my co-caster for a lot of these games, and obviously appreciate it, man. Thanks for joining me, and hopefully we can do it again sometime soon.
Yeah. See you, man.
All right, have a good night, guys. Peace out.